everyone. Welcome to the Dog Mom Knits podcast, episode 21. My name is Amanda, and you can find me on Instagram as Dog Mom Knits, on Ravelry as Dog Mom Knits 08. And we do have an email address for this podcast, and that is dogmomknits@gmail.com. I am coming to you from coastal Virginia. This was always going to be the hardest part of this podcast. I am coming to you from coastal Virginia, where I live with my husband, Sean, and our dogs, Copper and Finley, and our exchange student, Daria. This is a podcast all about my crafty adventures and my yarny life, and I am so grateful that you are joining me today. I promise I do not cry on every episode. I don't think I've ever cried on the podcast, actually. I will have links to all the places that I talk about, all the shops, podcasts, and people linked in the description bar down below. And I would like to say a great big welcome to all of my new and returning viewers. You guys mean so much to me, and I am so grateful for your presence in my life, in my family's lives, and you've made a very difficult time just a little bit easier, and for that I am forever grateful. So we are back in a new spot in the house. We're back in front of my fireplace because, I just noticed my little from Mary. So our exchange student, our previous exchange student to Daria, who we have now, her name was Mary. These were two gifts that she brought us when she came. She is from Ukraine. It's our little Copper and our little Bandit. I love having those. Miss my boy. Okay, so I switched from over there to over here, not because I like to keep you guessing, but because I was getting a really bad glare on my glasses. And I know that most people say that it doesn't bother them, like if people have a light glare on their glasses, but it bothers me. So I needed to move. So I came back over here where I used to podcast before Vlogmas. My shawlography is there along with a project bag that I forgot was sitting there, and I'm just going to leave it. Yeah. So you guys know, I'll do a little bit of news now. You guys know the big news. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And so I wasn't sure I was going to podcast today. It's January 30th. So it's Monday. Usually I podcast on Sunday. I was in no way could I have done this yesterday. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try. And we'll see what happens. If it goes up on YouTube, great. And if it doesn't, it's okay. I am looking down at my notebook, which has all my notes in it. I showed this previously on my 2022 recap and 2023 goals. And so I do have my show notes in it, and I am looking down. So at that, so I apologize if that is distracting, but my brain is all over the place. And so I knew I was going to need really good notes today, and actually reference those notes quite a bit, or who knows what I would say. Probably a lot of nothing if I didn't have these notes. So let's start with Dog Mom Knits news. A couple weeks ago, Sean and I were talking about, if we were, because my husband Sean, if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, my husband Sean is the guy who sews here on YouTube and on Instagram. And we were talking about, like, if you were going to design something to sell on Spreadshirt, what would you design? And I had an idea that came into my head, and I was like, could I do that and get that like set up? And so I did it. I set it up. I built the design, set it up on Spreadshirt, and ordered a sample to make sure it would look okay. And I love it. And I was going to wear it on the podcast, but it's cold and this is a short sleeve t-shirt. So this is the first design in my shop. It's a rainbow. Is it showing up on the camera? I cannot see. There it goes. It's a kind of a neutral rainbow with a yarn ball and knitting needles. And it says Christian and knitter. And this just means I love this design. These are two important descriptive words for me, like of who I am. And so when I saw it on the shirt, I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. I got it on the bright yellow because it's me and I love bright colors. And I do have other designs up on Spreadshirt as well. So I will do a picture in picture. So you guys can see I believe it's 6 different designs, 4 with the rainbow and then 2 other ones. And I will have the Spreadshirt shop linked down below if you are interested. I just think it's really fun to be able to say, like, I'm a Christian and I'm a knitter. Like, these two things are important parts of who I am and who God made me to be. So, hopefully I have a sweatshirt coming in one of the other designs. So hopefully I'll be wearing at least one of them on the next podcast to be able to show them off, but we'll see how that works. We'll see what the weather decides to do. The coastal Virginia weather right now is on like a crazy roller coaster. And so I never know. I mean, it says it's going to be a certain temperature and then it doesn't get to that temperature, or it says it's going to be a certain temperature and it's like 10 degrees higher. So it's like, I thought, oh yeah, it'll be like 60. I can wear my t-shirt. I don't think it got out of 50s today. So that's the first piece of Dog Mom Knits news. Is my Spreadshirt shop is open. If you are watching this, when the podcast first airs, they are doing a 15% discount. That's just taken off at the end, like when you check out. So, maybe head over to the top and check it out if you're interested. Yeah, I just felt like being creative. And yesterday, again, Sunday, I couldn't knit. I have never felt like that before. I've never felt like I just couldn't knit. I didn't have enough brain space to knit something that was complicated, and I needed more to occupy my brain than just mindless knitting. So I didn't knit yesterday. I haven't knit today. I went to a basketball game and didn't knit. I lost my train of thought. There it is. So instead of knitting, I went ahead and worked on my Spreadshirt shop. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday. And again, I hope those are just some fun designs that you guys enjoy. I hope they make you smile. That's what I want. They make me smile. So hope they make you smile. The only other piece of Dog Mom Knits news is last week, I posted a vlog. It was a January 9th to January 22nd vlog. It was, I think, 2.5 minutes. We didn't do anything well, Daria and I did some stuff, but I can't film what I do at school. So it's the dogs and some knitting, but it's not, yeah, it's pretty short. So maybe check it out if, you know, you have 2.5 minutes where you don't know what to do. That's it for Dog Mom Knits news. So let's move on to finished objects. I don't know if this episode is going to go fast because I'm just going to get through everything really quickly because I'm just basically reading off my notes because my brain hurts, or if at some point I'm going to start rambling and then this is going to be like the world's longest podcast. And stay tuned because I don't know which way this is going to go. I have one finished object for this podcast that I finished in the last 2 weeks. This is my swirl hat using Leading Men Fiber Arts Electric Avenue. This is a hat for my husband, Sean. His birthday is Thursday, February 2nd, which is Groundhog Day. You can see that right there. I may as well just point it out to you because every time I look at it, I can see it. I got the pattern off somehow and just jacked it up so bad. My husband doesn't care. I love this pattern. It is totally not the pattern's fault. It was my fault. But Sean doesn't care, and so I'm fine with it. This is a fingering weight sock. So this is just sock yarn that I wasn't going to knit socks out of. Let me try to show you the nice side. Because, you know. I would highly recommend this pattern. It's linked in my Ravelry project page, which is linked down below. I want to knit another one of these, and I am thinking my niece might be a happy recipient of a swirl hat because Finley's standing on the table because, you know, that's what you do when you're Finley and I don't care about the rules, Mama. I make the rules. She's crazy. But anyway, this is my one finished object for this episode. It is a swirl hat. What other notes did I write down? Oh, I knitted on a US 3 and I knit the size adult. And if I remember correctly, this pattern goes from like baby all the way to adult. So you really could like knit one for everybody in your family. But Leading Men Fiber Arts Electric Avenue. This is neon yellow. I don't even know that it's showing up bright enough on camera. The idea is that my husband is going to wear this underneath his bike helmet when he bikes to work so that it's super bright and people will be able to see him. See? No, you're not. This is very muted compared to what it actually is. It looks like a highlighter. But it's so he can wear it underneath his helmet. So, yeah. So that's my one finished object, and I will gift that to him. He has seen it. I mean, he's tried it on, but he knows the drill. If I knit something for him for his birthday or for Christmas, he can see it, but he can't actually have it until the actual like holiday that he's getting it for. So he will be getting that on Thursday on his birthday. So that's it for finished objects. I have quite a bit of progress on one of my projects. So let's move on to whips. I mentioned on the last podcast that I had started biking more when I get home from school. And I was going to try what this crazy sock lady talks about when she's on her treadmill is she knits dishcloths. And so I decided I would try to knit dishcloths while I was on the bike. And so I joined the Kitchen Sink Shop Year of Dishcloths. And I have been working on January's. You can tell I am not very far, and I am not going to finish this before January ends. And that's okay. I'm fine with it. This is the Speculous. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Speculous Dishcloth by the Kitchen Sink Shop. She calls for US 3s. I am using, I'm pretty sure these are 6s. They might be 7s. I have never knit a dishcloth on a US 3, and I just was not sure that that was going to be fabric that I liked. And I already had these needles in my project bag, so I was like, I'm just going to go with it and knit these, and if it's bigger, that's okay. I am still keeping them in my Erin Lane bag, which is just awesome. It has all of my Knit Picks Dishy is in here. I don't know if I'll be able to show it to you. Yeah, sort of. There it is. So my Knit Picks Dishy is in there. Oh, I guess it would help if I told you what colorway it is. I honestly do not know if this is going to end up on YouTube or not, you guys. And just bear with me in the chaos that is my brain today, because I'm trying. Come on, where is it? Oh, so this colorway is called Colonial Rose. Speculous cookies are kind of like gingerbread cookies, and this color seemed to me to be kind of close to gingerbread, so that's the reason that I picked this for this pattern. I love it. I love the pattern. It's really fun and it's easy. So, it's just a matter of like actually knitting on it and being able to make progress while I'm biking. I thought it would be easier than it was. Just be honest. I thought it would be easier than it was to bike and knit. So it's fine. It's a learning process. That's why I'm okay that I'm not done. Okay, so the second whip that has been getting a lot of attention is in my Bags by Awesome Granny that I got from my mom for Christmas. You're going to see something really fun in just a second when I show you my next whip. This is my Advent blanket that I am using what I have left of my Blush Yarns Advent. I am just kind of doing a simple corner to corner, excuse me, corner to corner blanket. So I started way down here at the end. I just kept increasing until I used up half of the yarn, which was part of the way through day 13. And then now I am decreasing back down. It's hard to show you because I'm worried about the stitches coming off the needles, but I love this thing. I love this yarn a lot, and I love how it's knitting up as a blanket. So yeah, it's just mindless garter knitting, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I showed this on the last podcast. I think it's still in here. Yeah, there it is. The way I did the math is I went through and weighed each of the 25 mini skeins that I had from the Blush Yarns Advent, got the total. And then kind of figured out if I was going to do halfway, like increase to halfway and then decrease, where I would need to split that. Sorry, I'm trying to do this backwards on the camera. Where I would need to split the 13th mini skein. And then once I figured that out, I just kept the scale next to me while I was working on the 13th one. And then when I would knit a row, weigh it, knit a row, weigh it. And then I was like, okay, I'm good. Because it was only 2 rows that I had to knit. So, I lost my train of thought again. It was only 2 rows I had to knit, and then I started decreasing. So now I don't have to, I don't even have to think about it. I'm just decreasing down until I have 3 stitches left, and I will have used the 25 mini skeins, and then I will have a really fun little lap blanket. So that's really exciting. So that's the first whip the second whip that's been getting attention. The third is in this bag from Lone Larch Designs. Do you see what I did? I asked my mom for this bag without realizing it was the same exact fabric as a bag I already had. Bought in the US, bought in Canada, bought in 2022, bought back in like 2015. It's so fun. I think it's cool. I love this bag. So the fact that this one matches is more than okay with me. So in here is my Muscle Burrow hat that I am using Kimber's Cozy Creations, the We Share Needles set. So I have 50 grams of Movie Knitting, which is Maddie's colorway. And then I have 50 grams of Whip It Out, which is Kristen's colorway. And I am knitting a Muscle Burrow hat. My plan is to knit the 50 grams of Maddie's, switch to the 50 grams of Kristen's. And then when I get to like where I have 10 grams left, I'll do the decreases, and then I will have used pretty much all the yarn. This has grown a lot. I don't think I've ever shown this on the podcast, maybe months ago, but it has grown a lot because Daria, our exchange student, has to get community service hours as part of her program, and she really likes working in the concession stand at my school. She doesn't go to the school that I teach at, but she likes she likes working the concession stand. And so she's been working a lot during the basketball games. And so she works the concession stand, and then I cheer on the kids and knit. And I have made so much progress just knitting at basketball games. It's so fun. The kids tease me about it. They think it's really funny that their teacher comes to their basketball games and knits. I'm like, if I'm sitting, I'm knitting. Even if that means at a basketball game. If I'm sitting, I'm knitting. And I did not say, but I am knitting that on a size 4 needle. I think it's going to be a fairly loose gauge, which I hope is okay. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. Which I hope is okay. I am a little nervous that it's going to be too big, but cross your fingers for me. So that's it for what my active whips are. So let's move on to acquisitions. On the last podcast, I mentioned that I had purchased this Advent, but it hadn't come in yet. It has come in now. So this is the 3 Tulips Yarn Co. February Advent. And it is 14 mini skeins. So like this is number 4. 14 mini skeins and 14 extras that you open each day, February 1st to February 14th. I am so excited. She included a card, which I thought was just so sweet. And it was like, look at that. Look at the cuteness. It's a puppy and baby sheep. No, it's not. That's not a puppy. It looks like a puppy. I bet that's just a little brown sheep though. Y'all let me know in the comments below. Is that a brown sheep or a little puppy? Are they all puppies? Are they puppies or are they sheep? Daria wants to look. Okay, so Daria's looking. She's going to weigh in. Y'all tell me in the comments below, is my card dogs or sheep? Because what do I know? My brain does not work. Apparently.
It's a goat.
No.
Sean said it's a goat. Y'all do not vote goat.
I think it's a dog.
Okay, Daria says it's a dog. I thought it was sheep when I saw it.
It's a bird.
Look at the tail. Why would
Oh, that's true. The tail does look like a puppy tail. Okay, then I don't know. Y'all tell me down below. Puppies or sheep?
And there's a ball, but I guess it's
And she personalized the card, which I thought was just so sweet of her. And I just am so looking, oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward to opening this Advent. So everything's in here. I have not touched it except to open it and look at the card. But on Wednesday, I will start opening. And I am going to do, so I have been doing the vlogs and it's been every 2 weeks, but I'm going to stop the vlog that I'm currently recording a little bit early. It's going to stop on January 31st. It still won't post until next week, but I want to do a vlog of February 1st to February 14th where I am opening this Advent. So I will be kind of vlogging each day, just myself recording it and what the bonus extra was. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's really fun. Given kind of my current, like what's been happening, what happened recently, it's really nice to have something to look forward to. So yeah, and it just seems really bright and really fun. Like all the bags are different, or all those bright different colors. So I just feel like it's something that I need right now. It's just some bright and some fun. So I'm excited. Excited to get that open. And that's all my acquisitions. I'm really trying to not buy yarn just because it's beautiful. Is that working though? Not really. I probably have ordered yarn. It's just not here yet. Knowing me. Okay, well, that's all the knitting. I do think this is going to be a little bit of a shorter one than usual. That's all the knitting content. So, oh my gosh, I kicked the camera again. I'm so sorry. So if that's all you're here for and you're not here for life stuff, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you in 2 weeks for the next podcast. If you are here, if you're going to stay, then let's chat life stuff. So let's start with what am I reading? I cannot even believe that I am still reading the same book that I was reading 2 weeks ago. I liked this series, the first book, and the second book has just drug on so badly, and I am just done. It's like, I don't even care who did it anymore. Like, oh, you murdered somebody? I don't even care. Like, I don't care. I just want the book to be over. And I could just skip to the end. I mean, I could. I don't know why I'm not. I've done that before with books. But with this one, I'm just like, maybe it'll get good again. I had such high hopes for this series. Nope. It's not a thing. So I'm still reading that. I did get the Overdrive. Well, I guess technically it's the Libby app on my tablet, and I am going to start kind of checking out my local library and seeing what books they have, just because I've been using Kindle Unlimited for years. And so I just think maybe what I need to do is just start sourcing books from somewhere new. I did make a list of the books that you guys had recommended in my phone. And so I'm really excited to get started on some of those too. Once I get through this one. I don't know if it's me or if it's the book. The first book in the series was great. Murder, She Barked. I liked it. This one, okay, so what are we watching? We are watching The Circle together, the three of us. Daria is hooked. Sean and I have watched every season. It is on Netflix. It is really fun. It is a competition reality TV show, kind of centered on social media, but not in the way that, like, when you say it that way, it sounds completely different than what it actually is. But it's really good. If you like competition TV shows, I would highly recommend that you just like check it out and see what you think. Daria and I are watching Golden Girls, but we're going through it pretty slow. Like, I think we're still in season 1. Because it seems like everything else just keeps coming up. Like, we've been watching The Circle. We watched Kaleidoscope, which I talked about on the last podcast. So, and she had a lot of homework lately because her semester was coming to an end. And so her classes were finishing because we have block scheduling in our area. So that left me with more kind of knitting, TV time on my own. So I watched Pressure Cooker on Netflix, which is a cooking competition show. And then I watched Bake Squad on Netflix, which is, it's kind of a competition baking show, but it's not really a competition. They help each other out, and it's very sweet, and I love it. And I liked Pressure Cooker and Bake Squad. So if you're into competition shows and they are food related, yeah, check those out. Pressure Cooker was good. I was impressed. It filled my Top Chef like need because I know the Top Chef season is coming, but like, could we come faster? Like, I need, you know, I'm ready. So our adventures have been a lot of things. So our adventures, if you're new here, are what we call it when we take our exchange student out and about to do something fun. And they have been a lot of things at my school. Again, she's been working a lot of the basketball games. And then we did take her this past weekend to the local university. We went to Old Dominion University to see a Lady Monarchs basketball game, and that was really fun. And my parents went, and it was great. And I will have lots and lots of video and pictures in the vlog that goes up next Wednesday. As I mentioned, she's about to start her new semester. She has today and tomorrow off of school, their teacher work days. And then she starts 4 new classes for her. She is taking French, art, history, and English. So, and it will be 11th grade history, which in Virginia is Virginia and U.S. history, and 11th grade English, which in Virginia is American literature. And so I think that's really fun. The only big school news is that it's busy. Yeah, it's just busy right now. There's like, the 8th grade. So I teach middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The 8th graders take a week-long trip to Boston in May, and I help with kind of the planning and organizing of that. And it is, you know, like we're far enough out that all the planning and organizing has to be done. You know, like we're doing all of that behind the scenes. So the kids are like, oh, Boston's so far away. And whereas I have something on my to-do list every day for Boston. But I love it. I cannot wait to go on this trip. I am so excited. The kids are so excited. I just think it's really, really, oh my gosh, it's like the best trip ever. And I'm just so excited to go back. I went last year for the first time, and so I'm ready to go back and be able to soak it all in again, because it's just so much fun. I did have someone in a Zoom knit group ask me if I was going to be able to like break away from the group and go to any yarn stores. That's a no. It's disappointing, but no yarn stores for me while I'm up there. Because I've heard they have some good ones. And that's really it. You guys would have seen the big life update at the beginning. Not in a place where I can talk about it. So that's why I did it in pictures and stuff. We would appreciate your prayers. And your thoughts, your kind thoughts, as we, the humans, deal with it, and as Finley and Copper deal with it. Bandit was definitely the alpha. He was the boss. No mistaking that. So, Sean pointed that out tonight. It'll be interesting to see how that works with the two of them. And I just pray they'll be okay. as they get used to it being just the two of them. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if this one's the high energy that my podcasts usually are. So if you made it through, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for just everything that you bring to our lives. You bring such positivity and such joy to my family, and I cannot thank you enough for all that you do that you don't even know that you do. Just because you show up every 2 weeks to hear me ramble about my knitting, and you leave such wonderful, sweet comments. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. I hope whatever you're knitting brings you joy. And I hope you know that you have somebody praying for you each and every day. And whatever you're going through and whatever your prayers are requesting, you have somebody praying that also. Thank you guys for tuning in. Happy knitting.